I'm the owner and creator of everything you find at CarolJo's.com, which is an online jewelry and accessory business for women. So we do all kinds of fun things here, and I will talk about it as soon as social medias. I'm both live on YouTube and on TikTok. Lets everybody know that I am live today. So we'll just give it a moment and to get others into the room here. There we go. I'm going to say, is it going to let anybody know I'm here? I have never had it be so slow in letting people know that I am here. I might have to just like restart here for a moment. I'm going to give it about another minute and I'll restart if necessary. Okay, I'm going to restart because it doesn't look like TikTok or YouTube. Hi, well, I'll stay on then now. We have, is it Shelly Ann? Shelly Anna's? Is that how you pronounce that? Joining us too. This is just odd that there is hardly anybody. It's like it's not pushing it out there like it normally does. Yeah. Oh, good. Thank you. I'm going to try sharing it out from my backup account too. We are doing what we call chat time. And that is where we talk about anything you would like to discuss about jewelry making. Hi, Stephen. I'm doing good today. We talk about anything you would like about running a small business and jewelry making. We keep it professional to that extent. And if it gets, I have the chats on right now on YouTube, but if our chats get inappropriate, I will turn the chat off. So my question, does anybody have questions about jewelry making or running a small business? Last Saturday, I did kind of take over our show and we talked about the different kinds of metals and that type of thing. But I didn't plan to do that today because I didn't want to do that like 2 shows in a row where I take over and do my own thing. Yes, thank you, Stephen. It's been interesting over on YouTube lately where it just gets inappropriate and I ended up turning off comments, and I don't want to do that because I want it to be a positive environment for us all. Hi, Geraldine. And having others be able to talk and communicate, because to me it's about growing the community and everybody being here. And when I shut the comments off, we're not doing that, and that I'm having a hard time with. So we got to find this boundary line of it's okay. Yes, I do make jewelry myself. Like here, the bracelet that I have on is one of my items that I've made. We do all kinds of different jewelry here when we do it. So on my lives, twice a week, in a normal full week. We are not doing a normal full week this week because of the 4th of July holiday. So I'm going to preface that. I normally have 2 tutorials where I teach you 2 different things. We're having a chat time, Amy, about jewelry making. We do 2 chat times a week, and then I do sell the items on TikTok only that you can use to make the jewelry. So for example, today at 3 o'clock, we're going to have the tutorial for this week. I'm only doing 1 tutorial this week, and we are going to make, and I'm going to bring it up with all the necklaces. We are looking at what the trend is for 2025's fall and 2026 winter. And we've been talking about that on some of our tutorials. So like 2 weeks ago, we learned how to make this necklace. Last week, this one. And then today we're going to learn this one. So it's about how the style of the trend is where you have the stacked or the layered necklaces. They do not need to be cohesively all exactly. And oh, okay, we'll get to that in just a second, Stephen. So that's why it doesn't have to be identical, but it has to just be a collection. So we'll do tutorials on how to do that, and also my jewelry making. I don't sell my jewelry on my lives very much. I sell the components so you guys can all do that. Over here, Stephen has said his channel is going to be focused on mental health, so different topics, but I appreciate your advice. And it is one thing that I was going to say is that YouTube's algorithms aren't like TikTok's algorithms. TikTok, I get into more of the niche that I'm trying to, or my area that we're talking about. And for some reason over on YouTube, it just goes all over the place. I don't know how else to say it. But yeah, so this is, and I didn't even show anybody, so you guys are getting the first glance here at this. This necklace here, it's called Linked Beauty Necklace Tutorial. And we're going to do this necklace. It is a very simple necklace. All three of these necklaces, and that is part of the vibe for, or the trend for 2025's fall and winter, is just simple cohesiveness. I don't know how else to word it without, those are the words I would use, simple cohesiveness. And there is something else I'm going to show you in on that one that I didn't put as part of the title, but as I was making this necklace, I thought of something, and I am going to bring it at 3 o'clock and show you guys. Yes. And that's the thing is that, when you're looking at what you're talking about, Stephen has, yes, I'm a hypnotherapist, so I'm hoping to use that to help others. Good advice on the algorithms. And what I would say is with algorithms, you think you know them and then they change. And I don't know how else to word that. Do you have any favorites? Talking about your jewelry. I don't know that I have a favorite type. I have what you guys will see. I wear a lot of things that I like and that go with different outfits. But for me personally, making jewelry, I like doing it all. You guys will see that I have a wide range of what I do for jewelry making. Like today, we're going to do that beaded necklace, but we do silicone. So, I'm just going to show you here. We have the wristlets here. This one is just a red, white, and blue wristlet. Or we've got another tutorial we did the teardrop wristlet. So you can do, so those are two types of wristlets with silicone beads. But, and I put some of them in bags now because I'm trying to get ready for some things. You can add, I'm just going to do it through the bag. You can add a focal to the wristlet. You can do, let me grab this here because we did this, keychains. We have badge reels. We have all kinds of items that, like that. But then we've got the different types of necklaces that we've been making and earrings and such. So like here we have the beadable bar. Thank you, Rose, for the cheerful balloons. So it's like this. There's a lot of different things that we do. We do earrings, bracelets, you name it. I don't I don't just show one type or stick with one type of bead. We do all kinds of things here. So that's why I don't have a favorite. I like doing certain things, and then it comes about and we do all kinds of different things with it. And my house is cold today, so I'm going to be rubbing my hands because I am cold. It's funny. My husband thinks it's warm in here, but after having our guests spend the last couple of trips with us, he's been with us like 3 times in the last 2 months. He told Ryan our house is like a meat locker some days. Thanks, Rose, for sharing the live. I forgot to say that at the beginning. We got our 10 shares now, and if we get to 10K, then we'll do giveaways. So yeah, so and I tried telling Ryan that and he doesn't believe me, but now that his friend told him, he does believe me. Our schedule, I was going to let everybody know. Our schedule, if you've seen it, it is pinned on TikTok. There is a video out on YouTube about the schedule. Um, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Rose said my husband and I have the same argument. My aunt and uncle have the same argument, but they're the opposite of Ryan and I. He's always cold and she's always hot. My sister has the same argument with her husband. She's the same as my aunt. She's always hot and he's always cold. But I'm always cold in our house. Geraldine has it too. So, but because of the 4th of July holiday, we are changing up, or I'm changing up our schedule this week. I will only be live on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then I have a lot of things going on in the midst of those 4 days too. So tomorrow I have a hair appointment and I have a baseball game tomorrow night. So I can only go live once tomorrow. And so what I did to kind of compensate for some of it is that we're having 3 lives today. We have today's chat right now, and then at 3 p.m., which is not a normal time that I did it, but I need to have some time in between, not to make the examples because I've already got that done. I just have things I'm working on that I needed to have a little bit of time in between. So at 3 o'clock, we will have the tutorial that I'm calling Linked Beauty, which was that necklace that I was showing right at the beginning. So 3 o'clock today, we're going to do this necklace. And there is something that's a surprise to go into that we'll be going over too. And then tonight is our fun, it's our subscriber night. I almost said silicone for some reason. Our subscriber night. Subscriber night is on TikTok only. And subscriber means differently from YouTube to TikTok. Subscriber on YouTube is like followers on TikTok. That's the equivalent there. In TikTok, a subscriber is someone who pays to subscribe to your content. And so on TikTok, there is that yellow star down below with the white ring around it. And if you go and touch that, then that brings up a box that you can subscribe to someone on. For me, it's $2.99 a month, but the first month they have a discount for you and it's $2.69 then. You can sign up to be just 1 month, or you can do it where it just automatically each month you do that. So that is what subscriber, how you subscribe to subscriber night. I go once a month on the last Monday of every month, which is today. Can't believe June is over with. It's like, God dang, where did this year go to? We're halfway done. But that we will do tonight. I was going to say, those of you that are on, do you want to know what the discount is where other people won't because they're not here until we get live tonight? I can tell you. I'll tell you. I'll give you a sneak peek or sneak into it. But I know it's like it's going too fast. Okay. So I was going to say, in May is the beginning of when I started creating jewelry 20 years ago. And then July is 19 years ago is when I started doing my business. And June's the in-between month. So I thought about, I know it's going to sound silly, but 19.5% because it's in the middle of the two. So that's what we're going to do. I just can't believe. Hi, Junior. I can't believe I've been doing jewelry, making jewelry for 20 years. That just like when it hit in May, I was like, no, it doesn't seem like it's that long. Yeah. So we'll have a good discount tonight. And I have, so far, I've got some of the items all picked out and getting them ready. We have some corrugated metal beads, and we've got some larger, like 8mm glass beads, I think is what I've got over there. I went downstairs and grabbed a few. And then I'm going to grab a couple more out of what we have. And we're going to have a kit tonight. And I'll show you what those kits are. Because that's what the time in between now and the 3 o'clock when we do this is I'm going to make the kits. So the kits are going to be an earring kit. I'm like, all of a sudden, I was watching somebody's live. And somebody said something. And I'm like, oh, I finally figured out what our kit is going to be for tonight's live. So... And it isn't like a normal, like just, I'm excited about these kits. So for the earrings. They're going to be simple to put together, but I think they'll look really cool. So I haven't made them up. I'm going to do that between the 12 and 3, or 1 and 3, because we'll get off here about 1-ish. So yeah. And so that's what we got going on for today. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, we will have a silicone sale. And I believe it's the silicone. I don't think it's the silicone basket, but let me just double check so I am not telling you something wrong. Let me go here. And I believe that is 2 o'clock. So I'm going to double check that. Yep, it's a silicone at 2 p.m. tomorrow. I have a question to ask you guys that are on. I had one person ask for the rhinestones to be brought back. Anybody need rhinestone beads? If so, I can bring them this Tuesday, or I might wait till next week. I just need to know. And then, so I'm gonna, this is gonna be funny. I have an 11 o'clock hair appointment. Yep, rhinestones. And it's the rhinestone rondelles. You know, like, here, I'll show you. These beads right here. That would be those. So if you guys want those brought back, I can bring them, or I can hold off till next week. Wednesday, so tomorrow we have a hair appointment at 11. Going to be on at 2, and then we have a baseball game tomorrow night. So I'm only going to be live once tomorrow. And it's for the silicone sale. And then I'm going to bring some more acrylic beads in those 12 millimeter colors, and I might bring in a couple 20s. And then I did get some new focals in too. There's not very many of them, but I got some new focals. And then Wednesday, we have our bring back sale, 2 o'clock on Wednesday. And then 8 o'clock that night, I thought we will do a chat. I didn't know if I wanted to cut chats out. So we will have the chats again on Wednesday night. And then Thursday, we're going to have the silicone basket sale at 11 a.m. And then I decided, because Friday is the 4th of July, and I didn't think anybody would be on that night. Plus, also, Buttercup will want to do fireworks. So I am going to do our normal Friday night speed sale on Thursday night, and we're going to make it a little earlier at 7. So I still don't hit TikTok after dark, even on a Thursday night. That's not our norm, but oh, nope. I just left it at 8. I was supposed to I put it on 7 on my other calendar, but I gave it to you guys at 8. So we'll do it at 8. I'll just try to keep it moving along so we're not on at midnight, because that just scares me on TikTok. So we'll leave it. Sorry, false alarm. We're going to keep it at 8 because that's what I have on the calendar. And then Friday and Saturday, we are taking the days off from doing lives. I will try to get out Thursday's 2 lives invoices out in the morning of the 4th before we start doing things. That's the plan. So we don't have a lot of different things this week, which isn't our norm, but we're going to change up our schedule a little bit. I know. I think the only time I took off this amount of work for here was when we went on vacation a year ago in March. I honestly don't think I've taken 3 days off before, except for when we did that. You guys can let me know if you remember me doing it. So it's going to be different. I told Ryan, I'm like, what are we going to do with my time? I'm like, you guys are going to have to keep me busy. Hi there, Vicky. How are you doing? I know. And it's like, you guys have to understand, I started working when I was 13, because if you worked for a small business that was in the state, oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. You could start working before 14. and then like there's labor laws in South Dakota, type thing where you can only work so many hours and that type of thing. But um okay, the rhinestones like these, Angela, those would be tomorrow at 2. Tomorrow at 2. And I'll have the clear, and then I have some colored ones. So we'll bring those. And then I'm going to bring some acrylic beads and then some focals. So that'll be the 2 o'clock. My only show tomorrow. And then, but what I was saying about, working, I started working at 13. And then when I turned, got to think about this now, 14, I started working for a different company because the 13-year-old job, that was the ice cream place that I always talk about. And so that was seasonal. So then when I was from 14 until I left for college, I always worked the summer job and another job during the summer. I always had 2 jobs in the summer. Um, just how I grew up. And then when I went to college, was the least amount of time that I worked was my first year of college. I only worked 8 hours a week. Can you believe that? In college, I only worked 8 hours a week in my first year. My second year of college, I probably worked maybe 20 at most in a week. I increased it. But then my third and fourth year, I worked a full-time job and went to school full-time. Then when I had my kids, I didn't work 2 jobs while I had my kids, but until they got to like about 2. Well, my daughter was about 1, my oldest, and my youngest, they were probably 3 when I started working 2 jobs. So I've always worked 2 jobs, always. I just can't sit. So when you hear me talking, it's not like my working is my norm. Not working is not a norm for me. Thank you for the heart me there, Vicky. I appreciate it. And for the popular vote. So what kind of questions do you guys have today on jewelry making? I also have to ask a question. Did anybody have questions about the discussion that we had on Saturday? I don't usually clean the house. That's I don't have to cook. I don't have to. Okay, so we had a joke when I was working for a while because Ryan used to drive me to work every day until he switched to a different job and then he couldn't. Well, it really pretty much was if he delivered mail, he couldn't drive me to work. But on the days that he didn't deliver mail, he always drove me to work. And then after that, when he started doing mail 6 days a week, part time, he couldn't take me. But then COVID hit at about the same time. So I just ended up working at home. So for years, I did not have to drive to work even. And so what I'm going to say on that is they made fun of me at work that I had a chauffeur because I never had to drive. I had a personal chef because I don't cook. I had 2 kids at home plus a husband at the time, so I never had to clean the house. Everybody's given a chore list, so I didn't have to do a whole lot of cleaning. Yes, I did some, but not a lot. So all I had to do was go to kids' activities and work my jobs and do a few chores. So yeah, and I never mow the lawn. I never shovel snow. So I have a gardener, they say. I do take care of the pots that we have. The pots are mine. The perennial flowers are mine. And then Ryan takes care of everything else in the yard. I don't cut down the trees or trim the trees. I do not plant. I don't even plant the perennials. He does all that. Yeah, to me, I don't do as much as like there are women out there. That's why I will say I am lucky and blessed because I have a husband that will take care of all of that. There are women out there that have to cook, clean, have a full-time job, take care of all their kids. And I didn't have to do all of that. So that's why I say I'm lucky. Hi, Ashley. Yeah, I remember one of my coworkers at one time. She said she enjoyed washing dishes, and I'm like, I don't know how you can like dishes. Like that to me is one of the worst jobs ever. And she said because my husband would take the kids for that half an hour while I was washing dishes. It was my break throughout the whole day, and I was like, holy wow. And when I sit back and think about that, and how much she did, and other people that I've seen, how much they do, I say I'm very lucky. I do the laundry. I love doing laundry though. Thank you for the heart or the heart me there, sweetheart strings. Oh, see, and I don't mind putting dishes away. You know what? We got a dishwasher now, and we all load the dishwasher. Like, so when you get done at the table, you take your plate and put in the dishwasher. It isn't like one person loads it. Everybody puts it together, and so when it's done, I'll put the dishes away. I don't have a problem doing that. And I do that more times than not. And Buttercup is doing that too. She will empty the dishwasher if we ask her. And then but she doesn't know where everything is, or she can't reach where everything goes. So she just leaves us our little stack that we need to put away. The house runs very well. We've taught her that you can't run a household if you all didn't help take care of the house wouldn't be nice. Oh, geez, Geraldine. Yes, I can understand that. Um, I'll tell you about our dilemma with our kitchen cupboards. I did not realize this when we built our house, and I did a lot of the planning with it and worked with the company that created our blueprints. So like we didn't just go in and like look at a house and say that's the house we want. I went in and talked to somebody and said, I want this aspect of this house. I want this aspect and this and this and this. And I had a whole list of different things, and then they created blueprints for us to look at and decide if that's the house we wanted. So that's how we created our house. And so we live in the country where we live on a gravel road, so sometimes dust gets in the house a lot. And I didn't want to have the top of our kitchen cupboards to have to be dusted all the time, but I also didn't want a faux cupboard up there. So I put 9-foot ceilings in our house on the main level, so that we could have a regular cupboards and then above that. Hi, Rosie. And as they hadn't started building our cupboards yet, and I was standing in the house before it was just framed out and not done. And I looked at our contractor and I said, I have vaulted ceilings. And he goes, yeah, didn't you see that in the blueprint? And I'm like, I wasn't looking at the ceilings. I never looked at a ceiling in any one of our houses on the blueprint. Like the ceilings, I didn't care about the ceilings. I really didn't care about them. I had other things that I was worried about, like getting a pantry and having certain cupboards in there and light switches in certain spots and all that kind of stuff. But I never looked at our ceilings. And we have a vaulted ceiling. And I go, my cupboards are not going to work. So we had to redo the cupboards. And so I can't reach the top shelf in our cupboards. If anything goes on the top shelf, Ryan has to put it away. And I'm 5'6", so I cannot imagine you. And my grandmother was 5'10", and her cupboards were built for her height, and I couldn't do anything in her cupboards. And I remember I went to try to go get something out of her cupboards, and I couldn't reach. You have to understand, I am also the shortest in my family. Everybody is 6 foot, not me though. And I couldn't reach it, so they were all making fun of me. So I feel the pain, but not 100%, Geraldine, is what I'm going to say. Yeah. Oh, that's all right. Yep, I am. My dad's family is all extremely tall, and that's where I was talking about with the 6 foot. Yep, they are all tall. They are all tall. And I mean, my tallest cousin is, I think, 6'11", and you have to understand, There are girls in there that are tall, that are 6 foot tall, and I'm not. So I can't. My mom's side of the family is short, and so my grandma was like 5 foot tall. So I say I'm halfway in between my two families. Hi, Con. Hey, did you find that email, Con, with the links to doing those? Oh, see, no, my dad's family was tall, my mom's family. Okay. Do you want me to resend it to you? I can see if I can find it in my sends and resend it. Okay. Let me know. And so I was in the middle. I literally am in the middle. You're welcome. So yeah, so my 9 foot, the whole 9 foot thing, you guys are gonna laugh at this. That's where our walls go up to, and then it starts the vaulted ceilings at 9 foot. We paid a lot of money extra for that because I didn't know we had vaulted ceilings. So our vaulted ceilings are really high. They're higher than a normal house. But everybody walks in and they're like, "Ooh, cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was a cool mistake. An expensive cool mistake." But everybody loves it. All right. Any questions anybody has on jewelry making? I'll ask again. Sorry, I've yachted. Is there any kind of items you guys want for tonight's sale that I might have that I can bring for the subscriber night? So if you're a subscriber, is there something you're looking for that you want me to bring? Because I haven't pulled all the items yet. I've pulled part of them, but not all of them. So if you have items, put them in the chat and I can see if I've got them. We have a quiet group here today. You found it? All right, perfect. I'm assuming by your comments, Con, that you found what the email. Oh, you're driving. Well, that will make sense. You should not be commenting while you're driving. I was on somebody's live the other day watching, and they were asking me all kinds of questions, and I'm like, I'm driving. I can't answer. Hi, Cora. Okay, Rosie's asking, how do I organize myself for all of your social media content? So, today is whatever you would like. Today, right now, we're just having chat. You guys get to ask all the questions. Thank you, Cora. I was gonna say so this is how I plan my entire week. When I say I post my Sunday schedule, or the schedule for the next week on Sunday, I already have ideas in my mind about what we're going to be doing throughout the next week. I just haven't put it what I call pen to paper. I literally I go out and I write down a list for every day of the week about what I need to do. And part of that is I figure out what my social media content is going to be for every day of the week. I do not create my videos ahead of time because this is just me being wacky doodle. When I see somebody in the same outfit all week long and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Do you wear the same thing? It's just me. So I do social media each day and try to keep my video to like 15, from creating it to posting it and everything. I want it done in 15 minutes. If that day I'm not going to be able to get it done, it's okay. And I just move on. And I don't dwell that I didn't get something posted today. And I just came up with some schedule of what I do each day. So today is Motivational Monday. And so at some point today, I will take 15 minutes. I will sit down and put in what the quote is for the day and then create the post with that. Tomorrow will be Tip Tuesday. Wednesdays are Wacky Wednesday, where I find some sort of an effect that I think is funny, or if you see a game that's being played that I don't want all my social media to be 100% this is the business, this is what it is, and da da da. That's not who I am. I am a person too, and I like to laugh. So I will be doing that. The beatable bars for silicone beads, are you asking, Con? I just need a little bit more clarification about what ones you're looking at, because I'm trying to understand. For a necklace, okay, I do not have any that have holes on both ends, but let me do some sourcing, okay? Thursday, my Thursday thing is Thankful Thursday, something that I'm thankful for, and I just create a quick post for that. Friday is where Friday takes me about a half an hour. I will let you know. And it's because I want to find a piece of information about jewelry that just to bring it out and extend our knowledge. And Saturday is Silly Saturday, where we just do something that's silly, fun, whatever it is. This last Saturday I did a video after Buttercup and her friend made their cookie pizzas. They were so silly making them that it just was like, this is what Silly Saturday is about. It's just having fun and doing something silly. And then Sunday is Sunday Fun Day. Yesterday, we were adulting yesterday. We didn't have baseball games. They were canceled. We went grocery shopping. We had Buttercup's friend spend the night, and then we went to Dave and Buster's and let them have game time. And then once we took the friend home, got home, and the Buttercup is like, can we have the neighbor girl come over? And so we just had kids all day yesterday. And I'm not going to put the kids on social media. Yes, they had so much fun doing it. And I will tell you, this is going to be a secret. If you can, Buttercup came up with that idea to do the cookie pizzas. What you do is you just bake a cookie, like I just bought the pre-made at the store. Woohoo, we got it. We can give a giveaway. Cookie dough, and then they pressed it down, and then we put it in the oven. You have to bake it longer, of course. And then then you put them in the freezer for half an hour to cool off, and then you pull them out, and then they can start doing it. My tip, if you're going to do that with kids, bring out one item at a time for them to work on and just layer it up. If I would have brought it all out, that we would have had a big honking mess, and I would have been like, oh. So that's my advice. If anybody wants to do those, just like, because what we did is they put ice cream down for their frosting, and then we cut up strawberries so that they could put the strawberries on there, and then we brought out the strawberry and the chocolate syrup, and then we brought out hello, and then we brought out the chocolate chips, and then we brought out sprinkles, and then the last thing we did was icing. So just let you know, you can make it as many layers as you want, but that is my word of advice to everybody. All right, we're gonna do a color here. I gotta think of a color, so give me a moment. Oh, the girls just loved them up. Let me tell you, they had so much fun doing it, and it didn't stress me out. And I'm going to bring up a color list here in just a second, and then I'm going to put some in the chat. Ooh, this is a good one. There we go. It wasn't that color. Sorry, I wasn't looking over there when I went to do it. All right, I'm going to give you guys a clue. It is a dark, moody color and it can be a gemstone or natural, whatever you want to call those. I probably gave you one that's too hard. Ah, somebody got it. Lori, you got it. The color was obsidian. Let's see if I can do this right now while I'm in here. So congratulations. You're welcome. Why I'm typing over here is that I'm going to add it to your invoice right now. Then I don't have to do it later. I'm being just like, can I do this on this? Edit. There it is. Take that one off. I was going to say, we do pink a lot because it's Buttercup's favorite color. And when she's on, she always wants something pink. All right, let me resend you your invoice now. Let's see if I can, there it is. I'm doing it on iPad and I don't do it on the iPad a whole lot. I'm not putting a message in there, but I'm going to send it to you here. Trying to get it to go. There. Send. There it is. So that's all done. I just need to put it in your little container and that'll be easy when I get off. That part's done. Whoop, whoop. Do you know that sometimes you're like, did I do everything? What is that? I was going to say, I'm excited for subscriber night. I'm excited for the earring kits that I'm making for you guys. I've got this all planned out. I'm hoping you guys, you may not like them as much as I do, but I'm excited about them. And that's okay. So you get to go tonight. Oh, that is so funny. That is so cute. I love it. And I know usually some days I have been, if you guys pay in the morning, I'll include it and take it with me to the afternoon for mailing out. And there's a few of you that had paid this morning, but Ryan took my packages this morning. I didn't think he was going to take them. And so because of that, I'm not going to run to the post office this afternoon. So I'll get those out to you guys tomorrow. Okay, mine's tomorrow. I'm so excited. I get my hair done tomorrow. The gray that's like right here will be gone. The gray here. And it's so funny because like I don't have as much gray. I'm sorry, I'm going to show you my hair. I don't have as much gray throughout my hair as right here. So I'm just going to get it covered up. All right. I may jump off just a few minutes early so that I can make sure I'm staying on task with everything, if everybody's good with that. No way. I do not have that. See, I do not have it. I worked with somebody that did that. And my grandma had dark hair like mine, but what she did is she went blonde so that you couldn't see it. She didn't keep her hair dark when she started going gray. She went blonde. But I don't want to do that because they strip your hair color, and I don't want to do that. I just don't have any blonde in my hair. And it's funny because half my family is blonde and half is not. I'm like, I'm the half that's not. I actually have like the darkest hair of anybody in my family too. Don't know what happened. It just is the way genetics works. All right. Well, I'm going to hop off, everybody. I will be back at 3. I just want to let you guys know. I will be back at 3. I'm just going to grab them all. We're going to do this one. I want white hair, but mine's silver. My gray is like really silvery. It isn't like a dull gray. It is like this vibrant, like silver gray. It is, when you pull it out, you're like, it sparkles. So you have a wonderful day too. Thank you, Lori. We'll see you all at 3 o'clock where we're going to do the linked beauty necklace tutorial. See you in a little bit. Bye.